Alright, hi everybody, welcome back. So I'm going to show the Hexezcan install on the R1250 RT, the 2021. I just installed my fog lights and I installed my side marker lights that I did a video of earlier on how to put those together. And I have it all wired up to the Hexezcan. So just to back up a little bit and explain, the Hexezcan is a device right here. It actually connects into your CAN bus. You take off these two screws right here, and you lift this cover off, and then you have better access to this. Then you just unplug one end that comes out of your out of your CAN bus, and then the hex plugs in between those two. And it's very understandable. Once you see it all taken apart, you'll be able to figure it out very quickly how it all connects. And then you've got 4 connections coming off the hex, what they call channels. There's a red circuit, a blue circuit, a yellow circuit, and a white circuit. And you can adjust those to be anything you want them to be at any amperage, like a fused circuit. So you don't have to run inline fuses with all this stuff. You can just direct wire to the thing you're hooking up, whether it's a horn, a light, an accessory adapter of some kind, maybe a USB device, or maybe even a radar detector, or something like that, or a satellite radio, or whatever you want to do. So all I did was I ran the wiring up, I connected into the device. Now what I did was, as you're going to see here, and let me zoom in on this for us here so we can get a better look at this. Give me 1 second here to get a little... Alright, hopefully you guys can all see that. Should be in focus. Alright, so my red circuit I have set for 4 amps. Now each one of these little ball colors right here indicate what you're connected to. In this case, my yellow circuit is my 2 lights. See, number 2, it's got a left and right light. So those are my 2 fog lights that I connected up. And I can select my daylight intensity, my nighttime intensity, and whether or not I want them to turn off when I turn my turn signals on, so they'll blink alternately, which I'll show you a video of that in a minute. Strobe when the horn is active, so if you beep your horn, they'll actually strobe, which is a very cool feature. Strobe on flash to pass, what you do is you hit your high beam switch 3 times, and then they'll strobe 3 times as you're going past somebody at night, and so on and so forth. So that's the circuit that I've got my lights set up on, which is this circuit right here, the yellow circuit. Now as we go down here, we're going to see, now I have my daytime intensity and my nighttime intensity. So this right here is as a running light, and this right here is as a normal light at night. So my daylight intensity is at 60%, my nighttime intensity is 100%, and that's also for flashing. So when I'm running, they're going to be on at a certain brightness. When I flash them, they go brighter. So you can set all this up with the Hex. That's the very cool thing about the Hexezcan. It makes it simple to wire up because you're only running 2 wires from the device over to the Hex, and then you're just splicing into the Hex. It comes with connectors for that. Now the next thing is my auxiliary brake light. I've got 2 Skeen auxiliary brake lights in the back, and right now I've got my brake light intensity at 100% and my running light intensity at 50%. I've got them set for California legal flashing. That's just 2 wires that I had to splice together because there's 2 of them. So I had 2 blacks and 2 whites tied together, and then I connected them up to the white circuit, which I don't know if you can see the white circuit or not. That's the red circuit. Yeah, it's up under there. But it's simple, again, just splicing right in. It's very simple to do. And then my turn signals, the turn signals are set up on the red circuit and the blue circuit because you need a circuit to do each device. You can't do one circuit, won't work a left and a right turn signal. So I've got my red as my left, my blue as my right. Now you click on that and select that, okay? I've got my running light intensity turned all the way off, and the reason for that is that I want the running lights to run all the time, not just when the blinker is on, because that's what's going to happen if you hook everything up to this one circuit right here. The running lights will stay on, or the blinkers will blink, but they won't alternate between the 2. So what I did was I set my running lights up, the running light part of the angel eyes, I set them on my regular accessory lights back up here. So on my two auxiliary lights that I have, I wired the left and the right together for the white part of the angel eyes, and I connected them to this circuit right here. So when I turn the bike on, those turn on automatically, which I'll show you here in just a second. And then they stay on, but remember right here where it says off when turn signal is active? Well, that's why I did this. So when I hit the turn, when I turn the turn signal on, it'll shut off the running lights. So it'll alternate between yellow and white, yellow and white, yellow and white, instead of either being yellow or white, depending on if it's on or off. So it makes sense when you see it. So there you go. So that's how I wired it up, basically. I wired, the turn signals have 3 wires. One wire's a negative, one wire's hot for the amber, and another is a hot for the white. So the hots for the white, I wired into my fog lights, and the hot for the amber, I wired into the separate turn signal that's available here as its own 2 circuits for the hex. Right there. So that way I didn't have to cut into any of the bike's wiring at all. Everything is done through the Hexezcan. Hexezcan plugs into the CAN bus. You're good to go. You do have to run a power lead and a negative wire from the hex. There's one where you have to hook up to the battery direct. So it will draw a minimal amount of power when it's on, but as long as you have nothing keeping the CAN bus from shutting off, you'll be okay. If you have an Optimate or whatever plugged in to keep your battery on a trickle charge, you'll be fine as well. So that's that. That's how I've got it all wired up. If you need any more info from that, or if you have any more questions, please let me know. If you like the video, go ahead and select like. If you want to subscribe to my channel, I'd appreciate it. But on the end of this video, I'm going to show some photos and probably a couple of quick videos at the end on what I'm talking about when I talk about flash to pass, when I talk about the emergency braking, and when I talk about the alternate running light, turn signal light, when the turn signals are on. So there you go. Thanks a lot. Have any questions, let me know. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the flash to pass. I'm going to show you what happens when you hit the horn with the Hexezcan, and I want you to pay close attention to what happens to the running lights on the BMW Roundels. As you see right now, the running lights are on with the white. And this is, again, this is because I wired them up to the fog lights that are on the top of the bars above the yellow lights. So watch what happens when I do the flash to pass. That's your flash to pass. The high beams come on, or the driving lights come on and flash. And because they're hooked up to the side marker lights flash as well, which isn't really by design, but it's pretty cool that they work like that way. So now I'm going to show you what happens when you use the turn signals. See, what happens is the fog lights, the driving lights turn off, and all you see is the turn signal, and then you see the front turn signal as well. So you see both turn signals flashing right there, right? I know it looks like it's white in this video, but that's just the color correction. It's actually the amber that's flashing. I'll get a picture of it. And then when I turn them off, the white lights come back on and the fog lights turn back on. Now here's the last thing I'm going to show you, and that's the 4-way, the hazards, which is pretty cool. And this is the alternating setup, to where they alternate with your fog lights. So especially if you're on the side of the road at night, that's obviously going to be a lot of good lighting getting somebody's attention that you're on the side of the road for whatever reason. And then of course I'm going to show you the horn. That's next. So they flash as well with the horn. Another cool feature. One of the reasons I really like having the Hexezcan on my bikes. I had it on my K1600. It came out after I traded in my 1200, so I never had a chance to put it on my 1200. But I had it on my 1600 right after it came out, and now I've got it on this. Now I'm going to show you the rear brake lights and how they work. All right, so there's the daytime running light of the rear skiing brake lights. They're actually pretty bright, even though they're set at about 35% right now, 40%. Let me show you what happens when I hit the brake. Now above 15 kph, they will actually flash. My buddy Jeff was behind me the other day, and he figured out a pattern to it. He said when I hit the brake lights themselves, as long as I'm holding the brakes, they flash. When I let off the brakes, they stop flashing. When I decelerate, they'll flash 3 times. So he said he could figure out pretty quickly when I was decelerating versus when I was using the actual brake. And I didn't know that, and I didn't know that was even mentioned anywhere in the information from Hex on that. So that's how that works. So there's your rear brake light channel and how you can set the options up for that, and then everything you can do with the front. I think anything to add safety to your bike is a plus. I also have the reflective coatings on the top case and the back side cases, so that at night they light up almost pure white when the car headlight hits it. Another good safety feature. There you are. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know.